Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the foot of a mountain, there lived a boy with his parents in a humble house with a thatched roof. Though the boy's family was poor, their life was warm and kind-hearted. Because both his parents had to work in the fields all day, the boy, from the age of 10, was given the responsibility of looking after the family's flock of sheep. That flock, about 20 white, healthy and gentle sheep, was their most valuable possession. Every early morning, before the sunlight reached the tops of the bamboo trees, the boy would lead the sheep out of their pen and along a narrow dirt path up the hillside behind the village. There, lush green meadows stretched wide, filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers and the gentle sound of a stream trickling over mossy stones. The boy's job was to keep watch over the flock, making sure none got lost, wandered into the forest, or, most importantly, got eaten by wolves. Everyone in the village knew that wild wolves still roamed the forest on the other side of the hill. At first, the boy found the work rather interesting. Being surrounded by nature, listening to birds chirping, and watching the sheep happily graze brought peace to his 10-year-old heart. But after a few weeks, the repetitive routine made him feel bored. He was alone all day with no one to talk to, no friends to play with. He often sat on a large rock in the middle of the field, legs swinging, eyes gazing far off toward the village with a deep sense of loneliness. One scorching midday, after finishing the dry bread his mother had packed for lunch, the boy lay under the shade of a tree, sighing in boredom. Every day is just sheep, sheep and more sheep. There's nothing fun at all. I wish something would happen to make it more exciting. Suddenly, a mischievous idea popped into his mind. He remembered stories the villagers often told. Stories about how they rushed to help one another whenever wolves appeared. He thought, if I pretend there's a wolf, everyone will come running up to help. I could have a good laugh. At least I'd have someone to talk to for a while. Without hesitation, the boy jumped up, ran to the top of a small hill, and shouted at the top of his lungs. Wolf! Wolf! A wolf! Help me! The wolf is coming to eat the sheep. His voice echoed across the hillside, all the way down to the village. The villagers, who liked the boy because he was hardworking, dropped everything. Some grabbed hoes, others sticks, and some even brought their dogs, and rushed up the hill to save the boy and his flock. Panting and sweating, they reached the field. But instead of finding a wolf, they saw the boy, laughing uncontrollably. Ha ha ha! You should have seen your faces. There's no wolf. I was just kidding. The villagers were stunned. Some shook their heads, others were angry, and a few looked disappointed. That kind of joke isn't funny, one said. What if it were real next time? Who would believe you then? Another added. But the boy just laughed, not realizing the seriousness of his prank. After the villagers left, he lay back under the tree, still chuckling to himself. A few days later, boredom struck again. He recalled how thrilling it was when the whole village had come running. He thought, that was so much fun. If I do it again, they'll come again, and I'll have another good laugh. What's the harm? So he cried out once more. Wolf! Wolf! Help me! This time, the villagers were hesitant, but still decided to come, just in case it was real. But when they arrived, they saw the same scene, the boy sitting among his calm sheep, laughing his heart out. Just kidding again. Someone even brought a knife this time. The villagers were furious. An old man with a silver beard stepped forward, his voice stern. Listen, boy. If you cry wolf one more time, no one will believe you, even if you're really in danger. The boy lowered his head and pretended to feel sorry, but inside, he thought it was just another empty warning. He still didn't understand the consequences of dishonesty. Then one day, the weather suddenly turned cold. Dark clouds rolled in, and the wind howled across the hilltop. The boy wrapped himself in his cloak, huddling under a large rock. The sheep gathered close together, bleating in the chill. Just then, from the depths of the forest, came a low growl. Two glowing eyes appeared under the thick canopy. A large wolf with shaggy gray fur crept closer and closer to the flock, eyes fixed on its prey. The boy panicked. He screamed, "Wolf! A real wolf! Help me! Please, someone help!" He shouted with all his might, waving frantically toward the village. But no one came. The villagers heard the cry, but they only shook their heads. Again. This time we won't be fooled. No one ran up the hill. No one brought sticks or tools. No one believed the cry for help. Alone on the hill, the boy watched helplessly as the wolf lunged into the flock. The sheep's terrified cries rose above the howling wind. The boy tried to chase the wolf away. He threw stones, yelled, did everything he could, but it was useless. The wolf seized a sheep and vanished into the forest, leaving behind a trail of blood on the grass. As dusk fell and the sky darkened, the boy led his now smaller flock back to the village. His eyes were downcast, his face pale. The villagers watched in silence. One person asked gently, "Was it real this time?" The boy choked up and nodded, his eyes red with tears. The village elder came over and placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. "You see, child, when trust is broken, even the truth has no power." That night, the boy sat alone in front of the sheep pen, staring at the empty space where one sheep used to be. He couldn't forget the look of fear in his flock's eyes, or the helplessness he had felt. He had learned a painful lesson, a lesson about honesty and trust.